We do
Anybody?
have Claude who had just come in, Pastor. So, Claude, welcome to the show. And do you have any questions or comments for Dr. Hovind?
Hello, I am from La France. Hello from France.
Hey, bonjour, monsieur. Comment ça va?
Oh, ça va?
Je parle très peu français.
Oh, une petite.
Un peu.
The contract has the signature of Mark Rainey. What
Yes.
about the other signature?
Well, his signature is the same on all three documents.
Yeah, but is the signature also signed by Mr. Becker?
They were witnessed by Chris.
Oh,
He
so
did not
has,
sign on.
well, he
Chris,
must sign it for a valid contract. There are two signatures, aren't there? One from.
It's not actually a contract. It's just a Christian thing. Like, look, don't talk about it. Here comes Chris. Perfect timing, brother.
Yeah.
So it's not really a contract. It's a non-disclosure agreement. Chris, right here, brother. Okay. We got a caller from France here, who speaks French anyway.
Okay.
Parlez-vous français?
No.
No, me, okay. The thing is about Mark Rainey's signature.
Yeah.
Oh, get the mic where you can hear. Mark signed this in front of you, right?
Correct. Yeah. I, as the vice president and treasurer of the ministry, I have every new person that comes to the camp sign a packet of forms. One that tells what our doctrinal beliefs are. One of them that tells the different various rules about living here. Like we got a zero tolerance for drugs and alcohol and premarital sex and all that sort of stuff. And they sign that. And then they have a non-disclosure agreement and they sign that. Another form that just kind of tells us more about the person, stuff like that.
Well, Claude was asking, why aren't there two signatures? Why didn't you sign it if it's a contract? It's not really a contract.
It's not a contract. It's a what we require of the people that are here for, being here and being a part of our group.
And that would be a distraction from the main question, as he's calling me a liar for claiming that's his signature.
Right. Yeah.
That's the real issue here.
Yep, that's his signature. He signed it right in front of me. It also kind of showed me, and we talked about this right after he signed everything, was it kind of shows his attitude, his lack of being a team player in all this.
Right. Even though we have my wife said, even though we have a non-disclosure agreement, it's not because we're hiding anything. It's to try to prevent people from spreading evil rumors about us after they leave, which many have done.
Right. And anything that's going to detract from the number one goal of everything that we do is to reach the lost. And anything that's going to cause disruption for us being able to reach the lost and cause focus in some other direction that really has no relevance is an absolute waste of breath, waste of air. And so therefore we try to minimize that as much as we can. And, I recently have resigned and have moved off Dinosaur Adventureland property and things of that nature. And it's not because of anything negative whatsoever. It's more or less, I got my wife down here, my son down here. I got my own home and, but we're still friends. I still come here, still help out. I love this place. I love the ministry and I love the goal here, which is to point out how stupid evolution is.
Amen.
And to make sure that everybody knows that the way, the truth, and the life is Jesus, and that everybody needs to seek Jesus. I mean, that's the whole point.
Amen. All right, Claude, does that answer your question?
Yes, that is good. Mr. Rainey made many other allegations. Can you refute, thing about the money? What happens to the money? He make allegations. Yeah.
Okay, I have not heard what allegations he's making. What's he saying about the money?
Yeah, he's saying that we're spending the money on things that
prostitution, many things.
Yeah, he said that I personally, because I'm the treasurer, he's saying that I have spent money on prostitution. Well, number one, I haven't even gone to prostitutes, period, let alone use ministry money for them. That's just such a strange thing to be saying. I've just been reconciled with my wife and things of that nature, because she was living up in Indiana while I was living down here, and we were having a little bit of marital issues, but we've worked things out. She's back with me. We're happy and all that sort of thing. That's absurd that he's saying that I'm spending ministry money on prostitutes. So
why would he? First of all, how would he know? And why would he say that? It's just, this is to take a focus off of him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then as far as you know, the regular ministry money and stuff like that that's going on, we've got regular good records. We pay our bills. We you know, we are constantly doing projects and stuff around here. You know, nothing shady's going on with money. I mean, I don't know what else to really say.
Well, if a person who left here is upset about how the money is spent, is that code word for give it to me instead?
Yeah. You know, the other thing that's kind of funny is at first, he's like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Don't kick me out. Don't kick me out. Find a way for me to be able to stay. And then we're like, no, you've worn out your welcome. Okay, you guys are horrible. You know, what kind of weight does that kind of a person have? Everybody that's mad that they leave here is mad because they don't get a stay. They're mad because we have asked them to leave and they really want to stay, but because we've asked them to leave, now they're mad at us and now we're horrible people.
Well, and we only ask them to leave if it's necessary. I mean, we're real tolerant here. Yeah. We go bend over backwards and go long, probably longer than we should on some.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Sandra, get a chair up here if you want to talk. Okay, grab it. Billy, get her a chair there. Okay.
He says something about Mr. Big Will. Is Mr. Big something or other? Mr. Big Will looking at the naughty picture on the computer in the dining room. Is that a lie too? Another lie? Yeah.
That was a lie. There was a little girl here who walked behind him just innocently, and there was a lady dressed in a long-sleeved gym suit, and she went to her mom and dad and said, Big Will just was looking at a girl on his phone. His dad didn't really know what she meant, but she said, you know, she was doing this, and she raised up her hand. She's a gymnast. And the dad said, you mean like on a pole? And the girl just said, yes. Well, then that story grew that it was a nude lady, that it was a nude lady on a pole. And it was like whispering in someone's ear. The story got worse and worse.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
It was lady later on. The little girl said, when Kent asked, did you see a nude lady on a pole? She said, no. She said, I saw a lady in a black jumpsuit with long black sleeves. Both parents' mouth fell to the floor because the story kept going from A, B, C, and it just was getting worse. So, and
so
then
they're just trying to discredit you. He just tried to discredit everything. Yeah.
Right. And if Big Will he's just been a new Christian for a year and he's 65 years old, been without a woman for years. If he was looking at a woman on his cell phone in the dining hall, what am I supposed to do about that? You know, to say, no, don't do that. I mean, I bet if we had everybody fully honest, we could go back and search everybody's computer or phone. We'd find a lot of this kind of stuff going on from all kinds of people.
Oh, it happened all the time in many countries. In France, everywhere people are looking at the picture, you know?
Right.
It's just normal. It happens.
We don't allow that here, though. So adult men, if they're doing that, that's between them and God. But it's not. We don't promote pornography.
Well, God made the woman to be looked at, and they'll be happy with your wife. I'm very happy with my wife. Okay. Any more questions, Claude?
And Madame Sandra, you are not trying to overtake the ministry, like the Rainey say.
Well, if I can jump in just to squelch that one.
Yeah.
I had my own house in Florida. Right now it's listed at $238,000. I asked my husband just after we got married, I said, listen, what should we do with my house? I said, I can either give it to my children. That's what I wanted to do upon death. We can rent it. We can keep it as a vacation home. He said, no, you want to give it to your kids? Give it to your kids. That's what I did. I can't see why the accusation that I'm trying to take over the ministry, why would I work my whole life and make that kind of money and come here making fraction of what that was and give up my house to come here to take something that was donated to my husband? That doesn't make sense. So we can squelch that one.
Good, good.
If I can jump in just to say, I've been here at Dinosaur Adventureland next to Doc on a daily basis for a little over 2 years now. I've gotten to know him quite intimately, about as close as a person not living in the same household could probably get. I've been in control of the bank accounts in the financing. I see where the money goes. I see it, how it comes in and all that. And I tell you, all of the financial rumors about Dr. Hovind are absolutely based on nothing. Every bit of the money that comes in, we spend it on the camp, the ministry, and the outreach. He's a human. He's gonna be flawed like any human's gonna be flawed. But I can absolutely 100% testify that he has got a desire and a heart to try to see the lost get saved. He may not be the most gentle, loving human being that you want, but he is genuine. He is, what you see on camera is what you get, and there's not a pretense. There's not anything hidden going on. He's outspoken, upfront, and very open. So it's I can absolutely say, and I have nothing to gain by saying it, that it's a good, honest, wholesome, Jesus loving, Jesus preaching ministry.
And I'm going to just add one more thing. While we were at a Republican convention, there was a man that came up to us and said, "Listen, Kent Hovind, I've been watching you." He said, in the beginning, I started to believe the rumors. He said, but one day I was watching you and you didn't know I was watching you. And he said, you knelt down on the ground on your knee, and there was a little black boy that came up to you and you were looking him in the eye. You were making him laugh. He said, at that moment, I saw the real Kent Hovind, and all of the rumors went away. So talk about him being prejudiced or whatever. That's crazy, but that's an example too. But his young or old, his motto is, if you can't win a big one, win a little one. So.
Amen. And I do, as far as Chris's comment about not being gentle, I'm a little, you guys have been in combat. No, you get kind of battle hardened after a while, Yep. My dad was Marine World War II, only survivor of his platoon, fought the Japanese. And I have been in a battle against the atheists for so long. I do tend to get a little bit sarcastic and, make fun of them and call them stupid and idiots and morons, because they are.
Prays for them at night.
But I pray for them. I want to get them saved.
He prayed for Emma and not RJ, JR. He has prayed for them. He loves their soul.
I'd like to see them get saved, and you're all welcome to call me, 855 Big Dino. Why don't you give me your phone number, AJ or Aaron Ross? I'll be glad to talk with you. I really would.
Monsieur Hovind, you are very upfront about many things, and sometimes maybe that go against you. Like you're very friend with Jones Chris and Byram Brady, but maybe they're not good for you. Maybe time to say we don't want them anymore, you think?
If I could just step in, I just wish these subjects could just go away. I wish this was not my husband's battle. I wish this subject became someone else's battle. It becomes their own battles. And that's just my desire for this subject.
Well, and if you think about it, if you think about it, they mocked Jesus for talking to a prostitute. And they're like, if this was really the Son of God, don't you think he'd know who he's talking to? And it was, the lost are who needs Jesus, and we're going to get some people that have a bad record, and we're going to get some people that have had some sin in their life. I'm a sinner. Aren't you?
Of course.
So we're going to get some of them, and they still need the ministry. They still need the help.
But some is very bad look, and maybe can.
Sure. I mean, they could say that about Jesus too.
Well, they did say that about Jesus.
No. Jesus did not do anything to children. You know, come on.
Okay,
Jesus
Claude,
was good
Claude,
to children. Yeah.
Claude, listen to me. Neither did Brady. Neither did Chris. I know them well. 50 years ago, first of all, it's none of anybody else's business, but
Yeah.
they love the Lord. Everybody's a sinner. They got something in their past, but I know them and I know the story. And just to be safe, we're careful about that. But Jesus was accused of hanging around publicans and sinners. Everybody that's ever come here is a sinner. Every visitor we've ever had. 70 countries, all 50 states. So anyway, yeah, I can choose my friends if I want, and you can choose yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. You know, I thought one time you mentioned the Brady did something with his own children 50 years ago. It's still not good, you know.
Well, I have no evidence either way, whether he did or not. That's
You
between him and the
said he
Lord.
was guilty. You said he was guilty.
Oh, how could I know that? I didn't know him 50 years ago.
Well, you did say on Stephen, the channel of Stephen. It's there. Yeah.
Yeah. I even if, again, have you ever done anything in your life, in your entire life? That's
Well, not
pretty
with
wicked?
children. No. Come on.
Not with children?
We stick
So
to
that's the
topic
dividing.
here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Fiddling with children's not good.
Right.
You know, even in
But see,
France.
be careful now. Some people like to look at one particular sin and to justify theirs. How about with other women? Have you ever slept with a woman you weren't married to?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
It's
well,
France.
that's in the big 10 commandments. Don't commit adultery.
Yeah, but some people just wave their hands and get married, you know, and then they can go and bonk whoever they like, you know. I mean, they do,
All right.
you know, so they find a reason around it. But I am very concerned about the children thing, and I think that it causes you a problem, whereas you should be saying, no, this is not acceptable. You know?
I will
and
always
you
say,
would get more support.
Claude, I will always say, no, it's not acceptable.
Right.
Well,
I
tell
won't tolerate it
Brady.
here. All
right. Well,
help
thank
get
you
all
for
that.
visiting us, Claude. We're going to move on to other questions and
Sure.
comments.